Khairat Samarkhan is a Kazakh. He spent 6 months in a re-education center in the northwestern Xinjiang region of China.
My first thought was, this is it.
Khairat is now in Almaty, the former capital of Kazakhstan and the country's largest city. He's one of the few to have made it out of a re-education camp in Xinjiang. These camps are for turning Muslim minorities into Chinese patriots, and over 1 million people are thought to be detained there. Khairat is trying to ensure that the world does something about it.
Not long ago, it would have been dangerous for Khairat to watch a video of a Kazakh hit on his phone. He was in a re-education camp until March. He's an ethnic Kazakh, but was born in China. He lived in Kazakhstan for a few years before being detained.
I was in the village. They summoned me to the police station. I went there on the 19th of October. They kept asking me what I had done in Kazakhstan, who I'd met. Then they searched my phone. My social media username was KZ, short for Kazakhstan. They told me I was two-faced.
In Chinese Communist Party jargon, someone who is two-faced is loyal to their own ethnic group and not to the Chinese nation. Khairat is trying to show the activist Khairat Samarkhan exactly where the camp was located.
I want to talk about what I know so that the situation of Muslims in China improves.
Xinjiang in China's northwest is home to many ethnic groups, including Uighurs and Kazakhs. International organizations say that there is a network of internment camps in which about 1 million people are detained. Khairat is one of the few who has been able to get out and leave China. The two managed to locate the area of the camp.
Is this the camp?
No, that's the houses. Further below. This is the cement factory. It's really close. A little bit further. There. This must be it. These 3 buildings that form a U shape.
These ones here?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's it. I was there in the medium-sized building. Every day the Chinese flag was hoisted in the yard. There was one building for religious people and one for those who had contacts abroad. And my first thought was, this is it.
The Uighurs family is used to guests. Khairat Samarkhan has been living with them for a few months now. He's an important eyewitness, one of the few who knows what it's like inside the camps. Khairat and his parents are also from China. Since the 1990s, some 200,000 Kazakhs from Xinjiang have become naturalized citizens of Kazakhstan. Many of them have experienced the sudden disappearance of their relatives on the other side of the border.
I kept hearing stories about what was happening in China every day. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. I couldn't listen to it anymore. I had to help.
So he set up Atajurt and started documenting all the stories. China has denied the existence of the camps to the international community, but the state media have praised them as successful means of combating religious extremism. This article was published on a local website, but quickly deleted. But there's still an archived version.
Did you wear clothes like that?
Yes, but darker.
Did you have warm clothes in winter?
No, not at all. The worst thing was not knowing whether I would ever be freed, or whether they would just kill us there.
Khairat, who is a businessman, is now trying to build up a new life for himself in Kazakhstan. He wants to set up his own company. But because all his savings are in China, he's working at a market for the moment. Kirirali Orazuli is also a businessman. He worked as a pharmaceutical sales representative before turning his full attention to the situation in Xinjiang.
I'm scared. I'm always stressed. Whenever I have to go somewhere, I try to travel with a friend, especially at night. All of us activists are scared.
The Chinese government has a long arm. Kazakhstan and China have a close economic relationship. Beijing has invested a lot into Kazakhstan's infrastructure as part of its new Silk Road project. But the internment of Muslims in China has caused quite a stir in Kazakhstan. Many Kazakhs have relatives in the Chinese camps. Atajurt records all the cases, of which there are more and more each day. It already has detailed files on 1,000 cases and knows of at least 10,000 more. It's often because of their relatives abroad that Chinese Kazakhs encounter problems with the authorities. One man was arrested after visiting his daughter. The authorities saw an encrypted message on WhatsApp which raised their suspicions. The family is desperate.
My brother and I went there. We told the authorities that we had installed the app on his telephone. They told us he would be freed in 2 or 3 days, but he wasn't released. He's ill. He has problems with his stomach. We found out that they take him from the camp to the hospital, where he stays for a few days, and then he goes back into the camp and into hospital for a few days.
Atajurt has forwarded the case to the Kazakh government. They hope the file will be translated and the case will be raised at the United Nations.
Every day we hear about new cases, about detained Kazakhs, simple people. None of them are involved in politics. Ordinary people who didn't complete school. Ordinary people who are being kept in jail.
There are no trials nor sentencing. The camp decides who stays or leaves. Khairat was released after a suicide attempt. He banged his head against the wall until he became unconscious. It's hard for him to talk about it.
It was terrible. I couldn't deal with it.
He told the authorities he had a wife and children in Kazakhstan and wanted to see them, but they didn't let him.
I told them I'd commit suicide if they didn't let me go, or I'd kill someone else. Then they could just put me in jail.
The threat worked. He was allowed to leave China for a month, and he stayed in Kazakhstan. Now he's telling the international community about his experience. He and Kirirali are meeting a team from Amnesty International. They bump into some others who have already spoken to the human rights organization. This woman has many relatives in camps. She tells Kirirali that her husband was detained in Buratala and her brother was detained in Urumqi. Kirirali replies that she should come and see him at Atajurt so they can set up a file. She says she will come tomorrow. Amnesty International is very interested in Khairat's experiences. Patrick Poon is China researcher.
We were in the international class because we'd gone abroad to Arab countries, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and Britain.
What was everyday life like?
After breakfast, we had to sing, with no interruptions. Without the Communist Party, there would be no New China, songs like that. We had to study the 19th Party Congress and repeat what a great person President Xi Jinping is and what a great country China is.
It's all about brainwashing them for them to accept that you are Chinese. You have to accept that it's a national unity exercise to make you feel that you are part of the nation. You don't need to keep your own ethnic identity. It's just really like an ethnic cleansing practice. So it's really terrible.
The Kazakh authorities have warned Khairat that he could be endangered by what he has said.
You have to be strong and have the courage to speak the truth. If we don't say what's going on there, who will? And that's why I'm making a statement.
Khairat is helping to raise awareness in the world about what is going on across the Chinese border. But life goes on, and now he has to go to work.